Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Boomy Reactions. For those of you who are new, I am Boomy. Hello and thank you for watching. And for everyone else, welcome back my lovelies. So today guys, we're back with Mr. Eric Singer and we are here with part 3 of the accent expert, and he's taking us on a tour around the USA and we're looking at some of the accents with some other specialists as well actually. It's not just Mr. Singer. So yeah, let's crack on with the video, guys. If you are enjoying my reactions as well, by the way, guys, please like and subscribe to the channel. It's hugely beneficial for my tiny, teeny, weeny channel. And I thank you in advance. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, thank you. Let's crack on with the video. So I think we've been around pretty much most of the US at this point. So I think we're just kind of going backwards and forwards to a lot of different states. Obviously, these are generalized accents as well, guys. There is much variation, like between different parts, different regions, and I think the specialists and Eric talk about that in the video as well. So it's just a generalized, kind of thing. But I found them so interesting, like why the accents are different and where they come from and how they're different to the neighboring states' accents. I'm a little bit of a nerd, but I find it really, really interesting. I hope you guys do as well. So let's get on with the video. Stop the chitter chatter.
Hi, Eric Singer, dialect coach.
Hi,
the map
Eric.
tour of North American accents continues. If you missed parts 1 and 2, you can check them out here. We're diving into part 3 from the West. Let's talk about California. Let's talk about Southern California, another part of the country where we have some really exciting ongoing change. So just like in some contemporary English accents, a more open oral posture, a lower jaw is lowering some vowel sounds, most noticeably the dress and trap vowels. There are a bunch of vowel sounds moving around here. Goose.
I'm sorry, so sorry to interrupt you, Eric. I absolutely love, I know I mentioned this every video, but he can just seamlessly transition into these accents and I don't even notice for a few seconds until the odd word gets picked up by my lazy ears. And I just think it's mind-blowing. It's a talent. I think I love watching him do it.
And goat can both be very fronted, and the short I vowel, the kit vowel, is being split in two. Before NG, it's likely to sound like E, so thing, going, just like the rest of the West, but otherwise it's lowered like dress and trap. So bid gets closer to bed, miss begins to sound like mess, and so on. So of course, if you take this accent and like turn the dial up to 11, we're talking about a stereotypical surfer accent, like sort of a Bill and Ted's kind of thing.
Yeah.
You can hear that in a clip here when they say excellent, that's a lowered dress vowel.
Okay.
Excellent, excellent,
Excellent.
excellent.
No, that's
Very
terrible.
much change and progress, so stay tuned. And of course, LA County has the highest Latinx population in the country. So I'm gonna turn this over to Megan again.
Hi again. Now I'm going to talk about Chicano English. The majority of Chicano English speakers reside in the US Southwest and California, and in Chicago. Chicano English is heavily influenced by Mexican Spanish. Spanish has been in this region longer than English has. In 1848, Mexico ceded this land to the US. Because of this history, Mexican Spanish has been influencing the English of the area for a really long time. One of my favorite features is devoicing of word final Z. So the sound Z is a voiced sound. You can actually tell if you put your fingers here right by your throat and you do the Z sound, zzz, you'll feel a vibration. With devoicing, we use the voiceless equivalent, which is an S. So the Z sounds at the end of words turn into more of an S sound. Okay. You can hear this devoicing in the plural form of chair. Chairs becomes chairs. You can hear that feature here.
He did things, he did things, he did things.
Another
Things
remarkable feature of
instead of
Chicano
things.
English is that there's less vowel reduction. So it's a little subtle, but I'll try to show you how it sounds.
Because.
I say because, and someone who would reduce the vowel would say because. I say together, and someone would reduce the vowel to together. Today, today. You can hear the features in this native speaker clip.
To hear, and to listen to everyone.
Thanks, Megan. While we're in the Southwest with Chicano English, let's make a quick stop in the Navajo Nation. Kalina?
On this stop, we will be visiting the traditional homelands of the Navajo people in the Four Corners area. The same devoicing feature found in Chicano English can also be found in Navajo English. You can hear a native speaker here.
I want him to recognize all Indian tribes.
The second feature here is a glottal replacement of final consonants. You can hear the glottal stop instead of a T.
What I wanted to hear.
Back to Eric.
Thank you, Kalina. Next up, here's Nicole to talk about African American language in California.
We know that African Americans in California participate in local features such as ooh fronting and up talk. You can hear that here.
I'm Imani Dorn. Tuesdays, too soon to do that. Tuesdays.
A 2016 study found bat retraction, or the ah vowel being pronounced further back in the mouth, among Bakersfield African Americans. You can hear that in this clip.
I'll be right back, and then we can stack those boxes. Right back.
And now the map tour continues with Eric.
As we move north from California, up in the Pacific Northwest, we've definitely got that caught merger. They sound the same up here, just like they do everywhere in the West and in Canada. But one thing you hear a lot up here is a lip-rounded vowel for it, ah. So here we might talk about a hot pot. Oh,
pot.
There's a little pocket around San Francisco that doesn't have the caught merger, by the way. So unlike the whole rest of California, the whole West Coast really, caught and caught sound distinct here, like they do in most of the South and the East. Just a little dialect island. Up over the border in Vancouver, you'll hear that same lot rounding, but you'll also start to get raising and tensing in the trap vowel when it comes right before a g sound, like in bag, agriculture, flag. Similar to what you can hear over in Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota again, there's a fascinating dialect pocket in Alaska, the Matanuska-Susitna Valley, that can sound uncannily like those broad Minnesota accents. A lot of people suddenly noticed this in 2008 when Sarah Palin, the former governor of Alaska, shot to national fame as the Republican vice presidential nominee. You can see that here in this clip.
I appreciate this privilege of being able to be here and speak with Americans.
We want to keep our AAA bonding rating in Minnesota.
It turns out that in the 1930s, there was a huge migration of farmers to the Matsu Valley from Michigan, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. So that's how that happened. Okay, back to Canada. Now, Kalina's originally from the Northwest Territories. Let's go back to her.
There are 9 official languages spoken in the Northwest Territories, including Norse Slavey, which is a part of the Athabascan language family. I'm inspired by the many revitalization efforts by our people to save our languages. For example, Language Nest in Hawaii. This is where young people are immersed in the language every day with elders in the community. Another revitalization method is a translation of popular television shows and movies into indigenous languages. Because of all of this, I have tremendous hope for both the future of our Native American languages and of Native American English.
Thank you, Kalina. Okay, let's go to Toronto, and let's talk for just a minute about probably the most famous Canadian accent feature there is. It's called Canadian raising, though you may not have heard it called that, but you're probably familiar with oot and a boot.
Yes.
Yeah? Of course, Canadians aren't actually saying oot and a boot. What they're doing is raising the start of the diphthong in words like out and about, so that instead of it starting very open, ow, it's starting from somewhere in the middle of the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh. It only affects syllables that end in an unvoiced consonant, so words like out, about, house, mouth, and words like how, now, loud, rouse, Canadians still use that wide ow diphthong. Canadian raising isn't only in that class of words though, the mouth vowel. It also affects the price vowel in the same way, so that the starting point of words like write, life, type, mice can get raised too. But words like rise, five, tide, fly keep their full I diphthong. You can hear the contrast between both of those if I say something like, that's a fine price for a brown house. So out in the Atlantic provinces of Canada, we'll hear accents that are in some cases almost unrecognizably different from what you'll hear in most of the rest of Canada.
I'm actually going to try that. I'm going to go back. Sorry, Eric, go back a little bit. Let's see that again.
If I say something like, that's a fine price for a brown house.
That's a fine price for a brown house. There's no difference. Am I messing that up? That doesn't seem like it's got any particular, difference to it. think I'm missing a lot of these.
So out in the Atlantic provinces of Canada, we'll hear accents that are in some cases almost unrecognizably different from what you'll hear in most of the rest of Canada. And once again, isolation and length of time are the key factors here. Newfoundland accents are maybe the most distinctly different of all. I'm giving this one a go, even though I've never done it before, so be gentle, please, you newfies. Now, there's lots of variation here, of course, and most younger folks aren't going to sound like this.
That sounds, to the untrained ear that I have, that sounds so similar to Irish. Can anyone else hear that as well? Is it just me?
But this would be an accent from the far southeast of Newfoundland, down below St. John's. We could go on about this one all day.
This one all day.
Sounds a bit Irish, doesn't it?
Does, yes.
This part of Newfoundland was in fact settled by Irish people, mostly from County Wexford.
There we go.
There's quite a lot of reasons why this particular old Newfoundland accent sounds Irish. Vowel sounds, of course, intonation, aspiration, but you'll also hear the Irish slit T. What's a slit T? It's a T sound made with a very soft closure at the tip of the tongue. Or not even really quite a full closure at all. There's a slit left for the air to escape through.
It's like your tongue barely touches the roof of your mouth. That.
Hit it.
Hit it.
I could stay here all day, but it's about time to wrap this up. So let's dip back down across the border back into the States and end close to where we started, in northeastern New England. I remember that caught merger. Well, the whole western US has it, and all of Canada, and so does this part of New England. Goes down about as far as Boston. Rhode Island doesn't generally have it, but here in Maine, you've got that caught merger, so all the vowel sounds in those two big groups of words are merged.
I'd go as far as to say that sounds a little bit British. Do you not think? Just a few little sounds a bit British, I think.
They all sound like aw here.
Oh.
You know what doesn't all sound the same, though? Mary, Mary, and Mary.
Mary, Mary,
Now, they do in my normal accent, Mary, Mary, Mary. And the same is true for almost all of North America. Oh, yeah. But most speakers up here still have distinct pronunciations for all three. Mary, Mary, Mary. Even more interestingly, at least in some older folk speech still, the historical distinction between horse and horse is still preserved. So if your horse has a sore throat, you might have a horse. Oh,
this has tickled me. So I think this northeast New England accent is probably the most English sounding out of all of the accents in the USA. Like the ones that we've just heard that I think sound very Irish. This one I think actually sounds quite British. Mary, Mary, Mary. See what I mean? And my accent's like a weird amalgamation of slightly northern Midlands, a little bit Welsh. It's just because it's the weird part of the UK I'm from. But if I was a bit more of a southerner, then I probably would have spoken with a bit more of a southern British accent, like a typical British accent that you might think of. But yeah, this one sounds a little bit British.
You still hear this distinction in parts of Ireland and Scotland and parts of the US South, but that's about it. This is one of the last places you'll hear it. And that's it. That's our last stop. So, listen, let me just say again, this is not meant to be a comprehensive tour of all North American accents. We've tried to be at least somewhat representative and to include some insights into how and why accents might differ from place to place. I sincerely want to thank all of the linguists and language experts who've helped out. And if you want to follow them, here they are one more time.
You can find me on Twitter at Megan D. Figueroa, and you can also find me at my podcast, The Vocal Fries Pod.
You can find me on Twitter. I'm at Mixed Linguist.
If you want to learn more about the Gullah language and what I'm getting into, follow me on Instagram at @SunMashow, Twitter @SunMashow, or sunmashow.com.
You can find me at amonidorndialects.com.
This video would have had to be about 10 times longer if it were really going to be systematic and thorough. But these are some sounds I love and some things I think are interesting. and I had a lot of fun sharing it with you. If I've piqued your interest about accents and variation, here are some cool resources for finding out more, and we'll throw some more in the description below. Hi.
Oh, sorry, Eric, don't start again. Wow, I think I might go and have a look and follow some of those experts. I just find it so interesting. It's like, it's the history of it. It's how, you know, one group of people that have a very traditional accent and you kind of migrate across the different states and the journey they've had, and then how it mixes with other nations that they kind of end up living alongside. And it's just so interesting. I wonder if someone out there has one on the UK accents, because that's another one that I'd like to watch. I find really interesting as well. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that, guys. I won't embarrass myself and do any more accents. I'm terrible at them. And what's worse is that I feel like there is so much information for me to kind of take in part 1, 2, and 3. I forgot half of it. So I'll have to go and revisit it. And then maybe I'll try and do some different accents, because the ones that I have done throughout this little series have been so bad. They've been awful. And if you said otherwise, you're just being very nice. But there are a few that are easier to do than others, aren't there, guys? Like the New York accent, I feel is a little bit easier to do, just because, I don't know, I feel like I've had a bit more exposure to the stereotypical accent through TV and films, growing up anyway. Like Californian accent, was that terrible? What I just said, was that really bad? I think that might be a more generalized American accent that I'm probably used to hearing on TV as well. But it's so interesting. And the Southern accents, like, oh, they all sound so exotic to me. But, yes, it's so interesting. So thank you for watching this video with me, guys. And I'll catch you on the next video. Bye.